So I'm on to the third door now. It's taking about a day per door this, and I haven't even fitted the locks and things yet. This has taken quite a long time. But I have unearthed what this random bit of wood was for. And of course, I should have really guessed, but it was just a backer for the handle. So if you imagine the handle, they'd put it here, and this must have been back in the days when people actually gave it. And the joiner who had panelled the doors and fitted the new handles obviously needed something to go behind here just to take the load of the handle. And they'd gone to the trouble of perfectly fitting in a piece of wood in there that was the exact right thickness just to take the handles. Anyway, mystery solved. This door is going to get hung the other way. So this is the inside facing the living room, and basically these hinges now need to go from that side to that side. I've already sorted out the door frame and filled in where the hinges were, but it does entail getting these hinges off. You can tell a lot about a door from its hinges. This is a lot of paint that's in these, and it all just needs to be hammered out. It's one of the few benefits of slot head screws, is that it's relatively easy to get the paint out. This screwdriver's a little bit on the small side, but I'm not going back to the workshop again. So you can tell, I mean, just by the depth of paint in that, that's probably 6 or 7, maybe more coats of paint in there. You can probably see the layers as I'm chipping this away. It's going to take quite a bit of filler to fill in the rebates from these hinge holes, and I'm running low on filler as well. So I'm going to do it in layers, and that means applying some filler, waiting for it to dry, sanding it back, applying a bit more, sanding that back. It'll probably take 3 shots to get this absolutely perfect, so you can't see where the hinges were anymore. So because I'm doing it in layers, I've applied the first batch of filler. I'm then going to start working on the underside of the door, and by the time I've got the underside of the door stripped down, that'll be dry and ready for its first sanding. So I've done all of the sanding off camera because it's too dusty to have my camera out. It absolutely destroys the lenses. But just to show you what we're kind of shooting for here, the general rule of thumb is that if you can feel it, you'll see it. So try and get the filler as smooth as you can possibly get it. It doesn't matter if you have to just keep going over it, that's absolutely fine. Just build up the layers. I did suddenly remember that I'm hanging this door the other way, so I had the lock holes to fill as well. So I've done all of that. I've completely run out of filler now. I've got some ordered and it arrives tomorrow, but that's going to be enough fillering for today. So I'll quickly fit the hinges to this side instead of that side, and then we can get this door rehung. Jobs are good, and I'm just using kinetic switches here. Kinetic switches, link in the description, absolutely amazing. This is the master switch, this is the original light switch over here, and this is a completely passive remote switch for that switch. Saves chasing the wall and all that sort of thing. And you're never really going to see that anyway because it's behind the door. So, jobs are good. So these are the locks that we're going to be using, or latches I should say, although this is a latch with a lock built in, and this is the new bathroom one, which managed to track these down. They are new and they're just off eBay. I did have a hunt around for like original period ones, but to be honest, there's a complete mismatch of latches on all the doors anyway, so I wouldn't like to guarantee that they're the original ones. And our general approach to restoration is to kind of take things back to the way they were, but I have no qualms about putting a new lock on, which is probably better than any old lock that I could get hold of, which looks more or less the same. So that's the handles for them here. So the proper real solid brass handles, so they feel really heavy. So I only bought one of each just to kind of test them out, but we are going to have to buy a few more of them. We have got the slight issue that the original holes didn't quite line up, so if you imagine that's going to go there like that, and unfortunately it's meant filling these holes. I'll have to sand them down, and then we'll need to prime them and then drill some new holes through in the correct places. It's only very, very slightly off, but yeah, it's too far off for it to be used the way it was. Not a huge issue at all, but yeah, it just meant that ideally I would have done that fillering when I was doing everything else in the dusty sandy room. As it is, I'll just need to do this sanding by hand and try not to create too much dust. But yeah, I think these are going to work really well. For the living room door, it'll go kind of like that. We'll just do a slight rebate on that edge, and that's it really. Drill a couple of new holes through. Because I've rehung this door, the original handle holes were on that side anyway, so on this side I haven't got any fillering to worry about. Just need to drill probably just one hole, because I doubt I'll ever be locking these from the other side. Not sure, jury's out on that. It might look nice having the keyhole on the other side, but I'm a little ponder about that. Hello Nugget, where's Chicken gone? There he is. By the way, ear candy has become a firewood storage box over winter. It's just a really good size for kind of transporting firewood from either the garage or the garden into the house. So yeah, temporarily over the winter time, the vinyl collection gets moved into a shelf. Over summer, the vinyl will get moved back into ear candy. I've also got just back plates off a couple of the original handles. Just got a bit of paint stripper on those just to strip them back to the original brass. So waiting on that to do its thing. So the only other thing that I'm kind of currently deliberating, this is the upstairs cupboard, and I've now rehung this so that it opens into the hallway, which frees up a huge amount of space in the cupboard, which is just an absolute mess in there, so don't look. That's actually worked really well. All I've ended up doing is making the door smaller all the way around, and then I've just added a new jamb on the inside, and that's worked out absolutely perfect. The only deliberation I've got is what sort of handle to do on this door, because you can't really do the rim latch because it would have to be on this side for the latch to work. You can't do a rim latch on the inside of a door that opens outwards, if that makes sense. So that means really the only option for this door is a traditional tubular latch, and the problem that I've got is that these doors are really quite thin, and whether or not it can take a normal tubular latch, I'm not entirely sure. Let us know in the comments what you would do for this. I think tubular latch is really the only option here. Anyway, pondering that one, you will find out later. Anyway, I just need to sand back the filler on the couple of doors where the latch didn't line up. Bit of primer on that, and then all of these doors are ready for their final coats of gloss, or satin as we're using. So I think we'll wrap it up there for this one. Absolutely over the moon with how these doors have come out. You know, it could have been anything under those panels, but to have the original 5-panel doors, we're really, really pleased with that. And they've come up pretty good. Took a lot of paint, by the way. Mrs. Mac did the vast majority of painting as per usual. 2 coats of primer and 3 coats of satin, all water-based, but again, they've come out great. We managed to find these rim locks on eBay. I'll include a link in the description to them. Really, really pleased with these. They're lovely locks actually, and decent quality as well. We just went with the satin finish on the knobs and they go really, really well. Ironically, the guy who sells these is quite local to me, just over in Gateshead Way. I've never met the guy, but the quality of these, I'm very impressed. A lot of the stuff I've been buying off Amazon lately has been really dire quality, but as I say, these were off eBay, and linked down in the description. Over the moon with them. My only slight niggle is that the bathroom lock came with Phillips screws rather than posi drive. These were all posi drive and these went on absolutely fine. The Phillips screws that came with the bathroom one are awful. I ended up replacing them with posi drive screws, but other than that, I couldn't really fault the hardware. Very pleased with it. Needless to say, we cleaned up and polished all of the door handles upstairs to get them looking pretty much as good as new. It is a bit of a mismatch of handles, but we are more than happy with that. It just kind of adds to the character of the property. As I say, it's a 100-year-old house this. We're not going for new looking doors. We want it to look like 100-year-old doors, and this is much, much closer to what the doors would have been like when the property was first built. Scumble was a thing done around the 1950s and things, so it wouldn't have been a fake wood finish when this house was first built. So that is kind of the final big job done in this renovation. There's lots of little things still to do. Well, I'm saying little things. We still need to tackle the entire pantry room, and there's the old toilet still to do upstairs, and the study room. We haven't even started the decorating on that yet, but it's all plastered, so it's all kind of finishing work, but that's jobs for next year. But it does mean that we are pretty much ready to show you the reveals of the studio room, the bedroom, the kitchen, so all of that's coming up. So do hit subscribe, and that will be within the next couple of weeks. Hopefully that will get those videos out. There's also some extra stuff over on the member zone at the minute, including doing the kitchen cornice. So if you want to find out what went wrong doing that, then head over to members.gosforthhandyman.com. And we are approaching that time of year where the Gosforth Handyman Christmas jumpers will be on the shop very, very soon. So probably your best bet is to subscribe to the Gosforth Handyman newsletter, link down in the description below. And as soon as they're available, because again, they'll be in short supply, limited edition, as soon as they're available, we'll send out a quick thing to the newsletter and you can grab yours, and once they're gone, they're gone. Oh, and kitten update. The kittens have been growing at an alarming rate. They're not really kittens anymore. I don't want to disturb them. Oh, give it a minute. Oh, I don't want to disturb them. Here's Nugget now. Nugget is getting very big. Look, say hi to YouTube. Chicken's asleep, so I'm not going to disturb him. But yeah, he could fit in the palm of my hand a couple of months ago. And yeah, do you want down? Come on. Oh. I'll go and put him back with his brother. Come on. Put you back in here. Anyway, we'll leave them in peace, and we'll leave it there for today. Don't forget to hit subscribe as per usual, and be nice to one another, look after each other, and we shall see you next time. Tatty bye.